Good morning to everybody. We'll move on to the next topic. We'll continue with the next session, that is hacking. Next topic is hacking. Hacking is like will be stealing someone's data and will be using it but will not spoil the data. That is only hacking. The gaining of unauthorized access to data in a system or a computer will be accessing a data without a proper authorization and will use the data but will not spoil the data. That is only hacking. Hacking is identifying weakness in a computer system or a networks to exploit its weakness to gain access. Simple word, if you want to say, hacking is will be stealing someone's data but will not spoil it but will use it. That is only hacking. Actually, hacking will be coming under legal activity. It will not be coming under crime because we'll be accessing but will not spoil the data. Using password cracking algorithm to gain access to the system, like will be finding what is the password of a particular system or Wi-Fi, will be using it. That will be coming under the category of hacking. Actually, in depth, if you are seeing, hacking can be classified into ethical hacking and cracking. I hope you will be understanding. Hacking can be classified into two types. One is ethical hacking, another one is cracking. What is ethical hacking? Look at this. Ethical hacking process to gain access to the systems with a view to fix the identified weakness. They may also perform penetration testing and vulnerability assessments. Ethical hacking is will gain someone's thing or someone's system with certain rules and regulations without disturbing the existing one. That is only ethical hacking. But cracking, if you are going, will be accessing unauthorized unauthorized data and will be spoiling it, will be stealing it and will be spoiling it, violate privacy rights and transfer funds. Those things will be coming under the concept of cracking. See, look at this. Ethical hacking will not disturb anything, just will be stealing the data and will be using it, will not spoil it. But cracking is will be spoiling. If you are finding someone's bank account and if you are transferring amount, that will be coming under the concept of cracking. That is not hacking because we are disturbing the existing data. Then it will be called as cracking. It will be considered as illegal activity. Cracking will be considered as illegal activity. Hacking will be considered as legal activity. So hacking and cracking both are cyber crime only, but hacking will not come under the illegal activity, but cracking will come under illegal activity. Now we'll move on to the next very important topic, that is introduction to web services. Introduction to web services. Once if you are stepping into web services, the first thing it will be coming to your mind as www, World Wide Web. Actually, www, World Wide Web, everyone knows what is World Wide Web. It is also a web. www stands for World Wide Web. It's also known as web. It's a collection of website or web pages stored in a web server and connected to the device through internet. Will have a collection of web pages or websites, will have collections and will be storing it in a web server, and it will be connected to a particular computer or to a mobile through internet. Just let me say few example for understanding this. If I am designing a simple program where I'll be storing in my local computer. Now after storing it in local computer, if I'm telling you to show the output, you people will be calling me and you'll be executing that program and you'll be showing it. Similar to that, we'll be designing a web pages or websites and will be storing it in a web server. Web server is also one of the storage space. We'll be storing that either web page or websites inside a web server and will be displaying or will be publishing that website or web page through through internet to any devices, like either to the computer or to the laptop or to the mobile phone. Will be displaying that websites or web pages using internet. That is only World Wide Web. World Wide Web is also known as a web. Okay, it is a collection of websites or web pages stored in a web server connected to the device through the internet. These websites may contain, what are the content will be there in a websites? Just to take our some example, our RD school website, what are the content will be there? Will have text, images, audio, sound, animation, everything will be there. Those content will be called as multimedia content. So website may contain multimedia content. The World Wide Web with internet allows retrieval and display of website to your device. That just now we have seen. With the help of internet, the World Wide Web allows us to display the websites to a particular device. World Wide Web was invented by Tim Berners-Lee in the year 1989. Who invented World Wide Web? Tim Berners-Lee. When he invented that? 1899. Internet and hypertext are available at the time. When it was introduced, what were the things available? One is internet and hypertext. But no one taught how to use the internet to link or share one document to another. They found all those things, but they did not explain, or no one is there to teach about how to perform all those things. Tim focused on three main technologies that could make computers understand each other. One is HTML, URL, HTTP. These are the prime things he focused, and he technologies, he introduced these technologies to each other. One is HTML, URL and HTTP. HTML is a programming language which is used to design a web page. URL is an address of a particular website, and HTTP is a protocol for that website. So he focused on these three technologies that could make computer understand each other. One is HTML, URL and HTTP. So the objective behind this invention of World Wide Web was to combine recent computer technologies, data networks and hypertext into user-friendly and effective global information system. I hope you will be understanding the history of World Wide Web, what is this and what is the purpose of using, who introduced, why, what was his aim to introduce these things. Now we'll move on to the next important topic, HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Everyone knows it is a standard markup language which is implemented, which will be helpful for designing a web page, and that designed web page will be displayed with the help of our web browser. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. This is a standard markup language. It will be designed to display the web pages on the web browser. Actually, we'll have few technologies. Apart from this, HTML will be using few supporting languages and technologies to design our web page very effectively. One is CSS, Cascading Style Sheet, JavaScript and Ajax. Asynchronous Java, asynchronous Java. Let me find out until I forgot that extension of Ajax. Let me say that it is a generally which one or HTML is the general thing. With the help of that, along with the general thing, we'll use other technologies like CSS cascading style sheet, JavaScript and Ajax, and apart from that we can use some other languages like PHP, VB script. All those things also can be used along with this HTML. HTML is a completely a programming language which is based on tags. Tags in the sense, with the help of greater than and less than symbol, we'll be calling it as angle bracket. With the help of the tags only, we'll be placing all the instructions what to be performed and how that web page should be displayed. All those instructions will be given inside the tags. Tags are the instruction how web page will appear on the browser. Actually, HTML is not a case sensitive language. HTML files are stored with the extension .htm or HTML. Similar to our Python programming language, HTML also one of the programming language. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is a standard language which will be used for designing a web pages. And this implementation, this programming will be that is that web page can be displayed with the help of our web browser. Along with this HTML program, we can include new technologies in that HTML program. One is cascading style sheet, another one is JavaScript, VB script, cascading style sheet. All those technologies can be added with this HTML. And then it is a predefined tags. We like our Python programming, we have lot of syntax, right, for implementing some concepts. Similarly, HTML also having predefined tags to give instruction to the web browser how that web page should be displayed. And then HTML is not a case sensitive programming language, and HTML files are stored with the extension .htm or .html. Now we'll move on to the next topic, XML. XML is also one of the markup language. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. This markup language defines set of rules for encoding documents in the format, and that is both human readable and machine readable. In case of extensible markup language, it is also one of the markup language will have set of rules for encoding documents in the format of both. Whenever we are designing any XML thing, it should be understandable by both human being as well as by the machine. So it allows us to exchange data between heterogeneous system. That is, we can transfer the data from one place to another thing very easily. XML stores information in a plain text format, so it is not blocked by any firewall. It cannot be blocked by any firewall because XML information will be stored in the form of like plain text. And then tags are predefined. Tags are not predefined. User can create our own tag and we can design a program with the help of XML. XML is mainly like a meta language. Meta means information about information. Actually, in case of XML, we need not go for using predefined tags. We can create our own tags and we can use this XML language. That is the main advantage. The difference between HTML and XML. HTML, it focuses on presentation of data, that is how the data will appear on the web page. XML focus on structure of the data, how data is stored. I hope you will be understanding the difference between HTML and XML. HTML mainly it will be focusing on how data will be appear on the web page, but XML will be focusing on structure of the data, how data is stored. XML data can be presented on web page by using XSLT. If we have XML data, that data can, if I'm thinking I want to display that XML data on a web page, that can be done with the help of XSLT, that is XML Style Sheet Language Transformation. Directly we cannot display the XML content on the web page. If we are thinking to display the XML content on the web page, we must use XSLT, that is XML style sheet language transformation, for displaying the XML content on the web page. And then here in case of HTML, tags are fixed, we cannot create our own tag, but in case of XML, tags are not fixed, we can create our own tags and we can use it. HTML is a case, it's not a case sensitive, but XML is a case sensitive. In case of HTML, we need to ordering of tag is immaterial, that is wherever we want we can place the tag and we can leave it as it is. But in case of XML, nesting of tag must be in correct order, like other programming language. In case of Python and all, if you are creating looping statement, intent should be given properly, and proper open thing and close thing must be given. Similar to that, in case of XML, it should be present in correct order, but in case of HTML, it is not a matter. That's all about XML and HTML. The next thing is HTTP. Already we have discussed about HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It is used for transferring all files and other data from one computer to another computer on World Wide Web. Whenever we are coming to the concept of World Wide Web, at that time will be using HTTP protocol. Without this HTTP protocol, will not perform any operation or any process on World Wide Web. In case of World Wide Web, if you are taking HTTP, we need to be very concerned with the two terms. One is client, another one is server. Client is the user who is accessing a particular web page or website. Those persons will be called as client. How client can access that web page or website? With the help of our browser. Now, according to this point of view, browser will be called as client, and then this browser will be sending to the web server request. What it will be sending? It will be sending request to the web server using HTTP protocol. So HTTP protocol will be acting as an intermediator between client and the server to send a request from client to the server, and then server will process that request and it will be responding back to the client using the same HTTP only. So in between client and server, HTTP will be the intermediator, that is client and server over web communication using HTTP protocol. Just imagine, I am client, you are the server. If I need to communicate with you, I'll be using some technologies like some sending videos, or we are using Google Classroom to make communication with both each other. We are going for Google Classroom, right? Similarly, client is myself, that is browser. With the help of browser, I'll be sending some request to you. You will be doing something and you will be responding to me. In between myself and you will be using some technology called Google Classroom. Similar to that, in case of our World Wide Web, will be using HTTP protocol. HTTP is a stateless protocol. Various techniques applied make HTTP as stateful like cookies. It is a stateless. We'll use some techniques to make it a stateful like cookies. Look at this format. This is one of the URL which I have given down, http://www.google.com. Actually, it is one of the URL. The protocol used for this URL is HTTP protocol. I hope you will be understanding what is this concept and everything. HTTP protocol, XML, HTML. So these are the prime factors of our World Wide Web. That's the reason Tim Berners-Lee, when he was invented World Wide Web, at that time he was very conscious about HTML, URL and HTTP. He was focusing on these three things to explain to everybody. because other things are they can learn easily without understanding this concept, but these are the prime factors which will be present in our World Wide Web. Next topic, domain names and all those things we'll be discussing in next class. And then today's homework is you just write few URLs with the HTTP protocol, and then you try to write a simple HTML program to display your biodata on the web page. You just do some research and find what is the HTML program to be used to publish your biodata on the web page. That program should be sent to me through Google Classroom. I hope you'll be understanding what I'm saying now. You create a simple HTML program to display the biodata and upload your homework in Google Classroom. Thank you.